Mount Josh's Comics from
Hi.
wintry Canada today.
Yeah.
It's snowing quite
Oh,
heavily here now, where I am. It's about to hit Josh in Toronto on the weekend.
very exciting.
Okay, so first,
What's going on?
first an ad.
Your
Okay.
new multi-vendor marketplace, YouSellComics.com, offers a site exclusively for buying and selling of all things comics. Slabs, omnis, trades, and more. Sell for as low as 5% commission or 0 commission monthly tiers. Run your own auctions, unlimited bin listings. YouSellComics.com. Buy, collect, sell.
Okay, this video is about how Marvel Comics owns the shelf. Your local comic
No.
book shelf. Yeah.
No way.
Marvel Comics and DC Comics, decoding the volume, the velocity, and value that makes their businesses work. Comic industry expert Joe Illidge pulls back the curtain on the machinations of Marvel and DC. That's, that's cool. A little picture
Oh,
there of
wow.
all of them
Who
combined.
who made that?
Image credit Mike Del Mundo from Insight Editions. Oh. Okay, so you've seen the Venn diagram of good, fast, and cheap before, haven't you? It's a source of laughter and misery. Among the many environments in which the iron triangle of product development is commonplace, it's especially welcome and nurtured in the comic book industry. Unless you are a creator of strategy, endurance, and self-awareness, it will pulverize you. A friend sent this writer a video from an expert talking about how to be a successful entrepreneur. One of the first principles the speaker put forward was the value of X value times velocity, predicated on the idea that a person becomes wealthy based on how many problems they solve for a growing number of clients. You solve a lot of photo problems, don't you?
Unfortunately.
Every gig you get in comics is because the editor has a problem to solve. The need to get X done in Y amount of time. From your perspective, every gig is an opportunity to make artistic product, and establish your value as a creator. Doing that while raising your profile to develop a good reputation on the road to career ascension. Comics, how are you involved? Well, I'm not going to answer that. Top 10 publishers in the direct market of comic book producers, distributors, and retailers have the need and burden of maintaining their positions on the pie chart of market dominance. We're going to focus on the big two, Marvel and DC. Both companies have prestige and influence, which comes with a myriad of challenges and goals. They can all be looked at through the prism of market share. So in the third quarter of 2023, Marvel Comics controlled 37.8% of the comic book store, while DC controlled 24.9% of the market. Combined, that's almost 63%. So that's leaving only 37% for other comic book publishers. While the numbers fluctuate from when the numbers fluctuate from quarter to quarter, their positioning remains the same, unwavering, adamantine to try to knock them out, and they will cut you at the vital artery, the thing that must be preserved at all costs. Marvel maintains the number one publisher position in part through title, volume, and variant covers, the combination of which takes up shelf space in comic book stores. Every shelf Marvel occupies is a shelf that is denied to DC or any other of the top 10 publishers, or any dozen of the publishers that fight each other like prawn for the remaining 9.4% of the market. Yeah, you can really. So I know you're not in the comic book shop every week, like I am. There are a lot of kind of needless Marvel titles.
Yep.
They do a lot of like little short limited ones. There was, I guess, they just brought out a new Sentry one called the Sentry. I think it's got 5 issues, and then that'll have variants. There's another one. They're redoing the Thunderbolts again. The Thunderbolts just had a limited series come out like 6 months ago with Hawkeye as the lead, and now they're redoing the story again with Bucky and Black Widow. Yeah. So and then that will have all variants. They're doing another. They really found a niche with this black, white, and blood series. They've been Wolverine's had one, Deadpool's had one, Elektra's had one, Darth Vader's had one.
Wow.
They're doing an Aliens one that I think comes out
Ooh.
next month, and then that will have
Dirty.
variant covers. Yeah,
That's nice.
so many X-Men titles.
Dope.
Yeah, I guess. So volume times velocity equals value. Periodical comics, comic books are 30 to 31 day rinse and repeat. Don't you dare try to cut me off on the highway business. And it takes warm, needy bodies to feed that beast. You and your peers in the business, your friends, their friends. So this guy once worked for a top 10 publisher that had those kinds of documents. I worked for another publisher that made artists get into that cage too. Asked their agent to have the artist produce a half handful of pages for free, or a fee that couldn't cover a week's worth of groceries unless you were on a food benefits program with the government. If you beat your unknown competition and get the gig, great. You walk out of the cage a winner, bruises and blood on the mat notwithstanding. Now you're headed to the wheel because the project may be starting behind the 8 ball and you just have enough time to go to the bathroom before you get started. So the problem with them having those two big guys having a ton of the market share is you kind of have to go like, Charles Dickens, please sir, may I have some more, and try and get paid, or you have to give away free work in order to get paid work later.
Yep.
Which is, I guess, it's also kind of thing. So, you know, I used to be in the music business, I guess, of sorts, and you know, you would get local bands to play for free because you would offer them the chance to be seen from a headlining band that would come in and draw more people. So that was kind of the proposition, like, hey, tell all your friends to come. You'll get seen by all the fans of this other band who are coming from out of town.
Mm-hmm.
You should just do that, and I shouldn't have to pay you for it. Now, Brian and I started a little different in that we would give all the opening bands a case of beer, which wasn't the standard, just to give them something.
I remember it.
Yeah, and then eventually, when I got to start booking bigger bands, that stopped because production costs were higher. But yeah, with comic book artists and writers all like, hey, I need a job. And Marvel and DC are like, well, you can either work for the big two and get some prestige, and you can do it for free, or you can try and get a job with the little guys and only have, you know, one comic run and no one see it because there's not enough shelf space.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a distillery imprint from some of the big guys that are trying to, you know, get in on the marketplace to allow for smaller artists and smaller writers to get paid for their work, and rightly so. I don't know how long it's been have you seen the worm start to turn in that, where at least for me a number of years ago I started to, you know, well, yeah, they should get paid. No one should ever have to do work for free just because, like internships. A lot of places have started to make, a lot of companies and or I think states have outlawed unpaid internships.
Oh, really? I actually don't know that.
I think that's a thing. I don't know if it's Ontario.
I'd have to check, but okay, well, or you can do it.
Yeah,
But I mean, I think the days
in Ontario, unpaid internships are illegal per se. Oh, so they get around it. But overall, it's supposed to be illegal.
Yeah. I think, if anything, now, like nowadays, more than before, even though everyone has a, you know, either a PC or, you know, a smartphone that, you know, can act like a PC. You know, other than that, I would say that a lot of these places that offer internships, okay, let's not say a lot, let's say 50-50, places probably offer a lot of benefits to working as an intern there. I never did it, but I know for a fact that, you know, with multiple photo print shops and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people don't have $10,000 printer that they can use. You know, if you become an intern at a shop or something like that, they don't usually have a problem if you use it. You know, in the terms of equipment and stuff like that. I would say that there's a lot of benefits from, you know, if you were an intern and you were being unpaid.
Wait, so you're saying they would let unpaid interns use their equipment to further their own independent career?
Well, I'm saying that because they're unpaid,
Yeah.
they have the ability to use whatever equipment might be available to them because they're working there. You know what I mean? So because they have a job there, or let's say a photo shop or something,
Right.
like a camera
okay.
shop.
So outside of hours, they would just work on their own stuff.
Yeah,
And
or they could borrow a camera body to use to shoot their own shoots or stuff like that.
okay.
You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of benefits when it comes to being an unpaid intern in certain situations like that. Obviously other situations like, you know, a shoe factory might not be like the best.
I used to when we were working at the place we used to work at, I used to use their printers to print my show flyers. So I didn't have to pay staples.
Yeah, I remember taking a fair amount of office supplies.
I never took
job.
I never took pens and you know, staplers.
Oh, well, no. Let's not get crazy. Staplers, no, but staples? Ooh, yeah. Couple of staples, maybe 2 packs of paper. It was nice. It was nice back then.
Yeah, so this is how Marvel and DC clog the market, and it's, I guess maybe at some point they'll, I mean, with the MCU, they're focusing more quality over quantity.
Yeah.
But then they're not having to worry about shelf space. They have their own shelf.
I was literally just about to say they made their own shelf.
But with your local comic shop, they don't have to necessarily worry about quality.
Mm-hmm.
They can put out 5 good titles a week and 2 shitty ones, but it's taking up that much more shelf space, so that you know, a Boom Studios or a Top Cow or a Mad Cave doesn't have one title show up that could be really good, and people have to go and seek it out online, etc., etc. Yeah, so let us know what shitty titles Marvel puts out that is just for shelf space. Thanks.
Oh yeah,